morning, good evening, whoever you are, wherever you are, whatever you might be doing. We wish to welcome you to the Silverlight Show. The Silverlight shines to illuminate that which lies hidden in darkness. For those of you tuning in today, we welcome you in. Another survival episode on the Silverlight Show because we're having pretty significant flurries. I don't really know if I want to call it a snowstorm, but it's definitely flurries. Here's the problem. I was just outside in literally my, what are we going to call them? Sandals, flip-flops, whatever it was, because this was my experiment. I had to go down and bring the garbage in. So I put on some sandals and I said, if my feet get cold or wet, I shovel the driveway. Well, my feet didn't get wet or snow on them. And over the next couple of days, the temperature goes up to 6 degrees, which means almost all this will have melted. What's my incentive to clear my driveway? Last time I spent time and effort clearing it, and nobody else did. Well, my one next door neighbor did, but like everybody else, left it alone. And not comparing myself to them, but yeah, why am I the one out there shoveling, risking a heart attack, etc., to remove not even an inch worth of snow? But it brings to mind how no matter where you are in the world, there's something that's going to kill you. Up here in Canada, it's snow and cold. I leave you outside long enough and don't protect you, the cold's going to get you. However, I go a couple hundred miles to the south, and you start getting other things besides the cold. You get heat, you get drought, or you get so much water that you don't know what to do with it. Hurricanes are a thing. Any coastal area could get one at any time. Floods are a thing. And a couple hundred miles south, the Mississippi does some pretty crazy things. But we're not done there. What if you live somewhere like Sahara? Well, the Sahara is not the world's worst desert, but it is perhaps the world's most famous. And there you have a real problem if you don't know where the water is. Let's go far enough south where we get tropical forest and jungle and swamps. Well, you're kind of knackered down there as well, because the bugs come out. I'm not worried about the alligators. I'm not worried about sharks coming very far inland. Those attacks are pretty rare and fairly infrequent. But it's the little things. You know the number one killer of humanity? Mosquitoes, insects. It ain't bears, it ain't wolverines, it ain't badgers, it ain't lions. It's mosquitoes. And here we are in 2024, and even though insects have bothered us for centuries, millennia, we still don't have a consistent way to defend against them and their diseases. There's something science needs to get to work on. Well, they are. The problem with mosquitoes is there's like 4 different species, only one of which really preys on human beings. So you can't kill them all because the birds need something to eat. The frogs need something to eat. There's a whole lot of things that eat them. I just wish they'd eat more. Now up here in the north, where the mosquitoes are nowhere near as bad as they are in the south. What else we have in the deepest, darkest jungles and the deepest, darkest swamps? Leeches and stuff like that carry some parasites that would, let's just say, that would defy your expectations. And they're all looking for their next big meal of warm red blood. And you are that meal. There's certain areas of the world, other humans are your biggest problem. Maybe in more areas of the world than I'm giving them credit for. Because after all, we can do a lot of things to defeat a puma in a jungle. Build a big enough wall, puma can't get in. A human looks at that same structure and says, yeah, I can do it. I got fire. I got big ropes. I got big guys that can lay into it and use their um, big pieces of wood as a battering ram and get through that wall. There's some places in the world that have beef between tribes. I'm using tribes on purpose, not to denigrate anybody, but as a unit of social structure. And these problems between these tribes go back centuries. And they're just waiting to catch one of you out of place. And we're no better than chimps well, we're not better than bonobos, because bonobos tend to have a more peaceful structural basis for settling problems than do chimpanzees or humans. Chimp will happily bite and scratch, and they can kill one another. Yep, those cute guys doing whatever it is down at the zoo, they have to be very careful and watch them, because they are going to turn on each other. It's not a question of if, it is a question of when. Kind of like humans. Everybody gets the idea sooner or later they'd like to be a tin pot dictator. And there's not much we can do about it. That's just the way things are, unfortunately. We are a vicious little organism, more deadly to each other than all the horrible little creatures of the world added together. And this is something we need to deal in our own nature. Now, I'm a curmudgeon, sitting back in my comfy little office chair here, looking outside at the kids just saying those famous words, "Get off my lawn." And that's unfortunately the way things become. We are territorial. And I like to consider myself somewhat advanced. We have to realize that we're still an animal, and a very successful predator at that. That's not going to change. We need to play John Lennon's Imagine a few more times. Please don't play it around me. And figure out ways that humans can live together. Because like I said, wherever you are, there's going to be a danger. Try to eliminate humans from that same danger. Because humans are darn clever. They lay traps, they observe, they plan their best attack, and then shit gets weird from there. With that, we hope you enjoyed this episode of the Silverlight Show. If you did, please like, share, subscribe. Don't forget to click the bell icon down below so you can be updated every single time we publish a new episode. And we hope you have a fantastic day.